All right, what's up? Snuffing Torches, season 47, episode 3 recap. We got a solo episode here. I have a feeling I'm going to be talking to absolutely nobody. I don't know how many people are going to be watching this live at 10:30 a.m., but figured I'd do it anyway. We'll just get it up so that you guys can watch after and also put it out as a podcast. Had some schedule conflicts this week. Told you guys would be out last week. I apologize for that. Last week we had other work commitments. This week, I was supposed to be back last night, had like a 4-hour Delta flight delay, so I couldn't do that. But going forward, again, this is kind of always going to be the thing. Barring a flight delay, we will be live for Snuff and Torches on Wednesday nights. Last night, you can blame Delta. I wasn't able to. And other people had conflicts. So just me now. I'm going to do a quick, I'll do like a 20-minute maybe recap or something, just so you people have something. I know the snuff heads out there are upset. Chat, if anybody is going to watch this live, let's maybe just get the chat going so I feel like I'm not going crazy. Also quick, just before we get into the episode, I want to do a quick rant on how fucking impossible it is to watch Survivor after it airs. The Paramount Plus app does not work. Just straight up Paramount Plus app does not work. It never has worked. I've tried to buy the premium subscription. Nothing works. The people at Paramount Plus should be put in fucking prison. Watching it on the CBS website or that app crashes every 2 seconds, and there's more ads than actual fucking gameplay. And I bought the episode on Amazon for like $2, and that just crashed out 100 times too. So it took me about 3 hours this morning to watch a 1 hour and 4-minute episode of Survivor. So they just kind of fucking figure that out. I also think I don't have a very good TV. Anyway, pick up quick. I guess I'll just quick last week. TK out. TK just seemed like a douchebag. You have to be a real unpleasant person to be around, to be as athletic and godlike as TK is, and to still be the first person out of your tribe. That just means you have to be an absolutely unbearable asshole to be around. But for this week, so just finished Asia Goes Home. Asia kind of fucked herself, I feel like. Asia was in a good spot. She had the relationship with Kayshawn and Teeny, and then right when they kind of throw her a bone at the end and they're telling her, hey, let's vote Soul, she just absolutely won't go with it. She kind of gets herself ended up voted out. I think that's a little lesson when you're on the bottom of a tribe. Maybe just go with the easy vote. Just go with the easy vote instead of trying to shake the boat up. Again, getting the chat. No, Tommy alone today, lame. Listen, there's nobody else there right now, so it's fine. We'll be back next week. We're going to have some more guests in and whatnot. My main takeaway from this episode is that Rome, I think, is maybe the most annoying Survivor contestant in a really long time. Rome is absolutely unbearable. He thinks he is calling himself the godson to the godfather Rob. I actually don't hate that line, to be honest, but he is so unpleasant to watch. And I know he's I guess got the idol that he already got rid of. He went to the journey thing, got a steal a vote. He's not a likable villain. There's likable villains, there's a Russell, No, I saw someone say, is Rome like Q from last season? Now, I don't think he's a great villain. People are like, oh, Rome's a good villain. I'm pro villain. I think Q was a good villain. Jesse is a good villain. Obviously, we go back in the day to a Tony Russell, great villains. He's, even like Randy from Gabon or Tyson, just kind of snarky, funny. Rome is as annoying as a player as I've ever watched. This guy he thinks he is the best Survivor player of all time. He might have the worst social game I've ever seen. So I will say the fishing thing, I think it's a case where everybody is wrong, where if you are Rome, to nonstop talk about fishing, go fishing, blah, 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 and then eat half the fucking fish yourself and want all this credit, I think is, a bad play in the game. But it's also like the other 5 people sitting there on their fucking ass, absolutely lazy, doing nothing to help them start a fire, to help them clean the fish or whatever. They also don't deserve any fish. So that was I was in a rock and a hard place there where I really did not like how anybody handled that situation. at least Rome is funny. I don't think Rome is fun. I think Rome is like kind of funny to laugh at. I don't know. I mean, are people more pro Rome than I thought they were? So we'll start with I'll go through the episode. Like I said, I think this will be probably a quicker Snuffing Torches. But pick up from the TK vote out, Kyle on the outs. Gabe, I think Gabe is a smart player where he was trying to bring in Kyle, because I think you look at Kyle and you're kind of like, this is a good old country boy. I'll be able to, get loyalty from Kyle. So I think that was smart, because I think if you're Gabe, you want to be aligned with Kyle. And then Caroline and Sue, I think, do have kind of GOAT potential. But Kyle on the bottom scrambling, he runs, he tells Caroline and Sue immediately. Luckily for Gabe, they didn't really believe it. They were kind of like, oh, he's scrambling, Kyle, he's on the bottom, we don't believe this. But that to me was a note of like, okay, Kyle is a little bit better at this game than I thought he was. I thought Kyle was going to be some doofus that is there for the outdoor adventure and he's just going to get absolutely dragged through everything. That doesn't seem to be the case. Kyle might have a brain on him. Gabe, I'm afraid, is playing a little bit too hard, but I think Gabe really understands the game well. It seems like Gabe has a really good grasp on the game. My concern is he's going to fizzle out a little bit too early. I think that was really everything we saw from the Blue Tribe today. We'll get to the journey too. So Yellow Tribe, Sam and Annika arguing. That's kind of the main thing that is getting the focus here. Annika seems incredibly annoying. The classic, like, girl in your high school class who was a know-it-all, thought she knew everything that was going on. So not crazy about her. Sam did a pretty good job, I think, of just like not making it seem like he was as aggravated with her as he was, and kind of just took it. But she's incredibly annoying. And then the Sam Sierra possible romance that everybody was asking about. I mean, look, they're two attractive young people. I get why people are thinking of it, but that's got to be a real tough look for Sam and Sierra when they get home. They've got, I think, fiancés, or they might be married by now. I don't know. And they're just like, what the fuck was that all about? So that tough for Sam and Sierra. See anything else on? Yeah, I mean, Yellow, I think, is, you said Austin gave his shot in the dark advantage to Sierra as a show of trust. And dare I say it, Austin might have a better grasp on this game than I thought. Austin, when he was like, there's surface level data, which is people telling you what they're going to do. And then there's, better data, which is people's actions. You can judge more from people's actions in the game. I said, oh my God, Austin, you might actually know what you're talking. Sorry, I keep calling him Austin. It's fucking Andy. I knew he was not cool enough to be named Austin. All right, I'll get the names down as the season goes along. Andy might know what he's doing in this game. That was stunning from Andy. I'm stunned by that Andy kind of knew what he was doing there. But that's just something to watch out for. I think the trio of Andy, Sam, and Sierra could be a solid trio. And that's credit to Sam for playing a good game where he kept Andy close when everybody else kind of dumped him. It was kind of like the keeping the, weird kid in class you're afraid is going to, do something bad one day, just staying on his good side. Like that's what Sam did basically with Andy, and that could end up paying off for him. Go to the journey. So the journey, Rome won like a rock, paper, scissors tournament to go. Kyle won some random thing that they decided, and Annika just volunteered to go, which I think is a dumb move. You don't want to put a target on your back like that. But Annika volunteered to go. They get there. I was a little confused if anybody can put in the chat. So I think that the bag had 2 loser votes and 1 advantage. I feel like they did not properly explain that. But I'm pretty sure it was 2 loser votes, 1 advantage. You had to dig in, which I think is kind of fucked up. Unless I'm missing something. Was one of the 3 things nothing? That's what it was. And did they all have to reach into the bag? Did they all have to reach into the bag? I want to see here. So yeah, people are saying that's correct. 2 loser votes, 1 advantage. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. Yeah, if you lost a vote, you could choose to pick again, but still, then you're losing 2 vote. I mean, the journey thing I've always said is so stupid. It's so stupid. But to force if you're gonna put this stupid fucking thing in the game, the journey, at least make it some sort of advantage. Instead, you're going there and you have a 67% chance of losing your vote on the rip, and you have to put your hand in. That's so fucking dumb. I was confused. I thought that's what it was, but I was like, there's no way it's as dumb as I think it is. Turns out it just was. Turns out that was a mistake by me. It just is that dumb. I mean, I guess then you've got a 50-50 chance of not of getting, but I don't know. That's bad. I don't. They should have had the choice basically to reach into the bag or not. And maybe you could say, well, their choice was going on the journey, but I hate that. I absolutely hate that. So Annika and Kyle lose a vote. They're like, all right, I'm just gonna stay with the lost vote. I think at that point, I don't know. I would just never go on a journey. I would just absolutely never go on a journey. And then Rome gets the steal a vote advantage. So Rome now has that idol that was good for the tribal, and he's also got a steal a vote. He's feeling like he's Thanos collecting all the Infinity Stones. Challenge, long water thing. Teeny, awful performance. Just an absolutely awful performance from Teeny. Pathetic. Couldn't get across the balance beam. The other 2 tribes kind of blow out the red tribe. So red tribe goes to tribal for the first time. So the dynamics on this tribe. Oh, and I should add, Annika, when she got back, she said that she didn't do anything, so that she had no effect. Rome said that he lost his vote. He lied. Did we see what Kyle told his tribe? I'm not sure if we even told what. Did we see what Kyle, everyone in the chat, if anyone, because again, I had about 10,000 interruptions trying to watch it, but can anyone tell me if Kyle told his tribe? Oh, Kyle told the truth. Okay, so Kyle said that he lost a vote. So Annika, I think Annika did the smart move. I think that's what I would probably do, is be like, I didn't have to open it, and I didn't get anything. Now, you do run the risk, basically, of, Rome and Kyle eventually at a swap or a merge saying that wasn't true, but you don't want to go back and say you got an advantage. That puts a target on your back. And you don't want to go back and say that you lost a vote, because that kind of makes you a bit of a sitting duck. So I think I would have went with the Annika strategy. But so yeah, Rome goes back, tells the tribe. So the dynamics on that tribe are basically Seoul and Asia are on the bottom. Rome's kind of lying on the journey. He's like, oh, they're calling the shots. So I think it's a smart move by Rome, actually. You kind of want to feel like you're on the bottoms. You want to let other people feel that you're on the bottom, so you could be easily scooped up. I thought that was a smart move. But basically, the dynamics on that red tribe, you got Seoul and Asia sort of on the outs. Teeny and Kayshawn are really tight, I think. And then you have Genevieve and Rome, who are also a tight duo. But it seems like that foursome of Rome, Genevieve, Kayshawn, and Teeny are kind of in charge. Now, I find that kind of surprising. I think it's weird that Teeny and Kayshawn are so locked on to Rome. I mean, I guess, Teeny had a good point of, it's like it's easier to work with this guy than against him, given the power he has. And they were a little bit afraid that maybe he was going to give that idol to Genevieve. But if I was Teeny and Kayshawn, I would much rather work with Asia and Seoul. They seem like more reliable, rational, level-headed alliance partners. Seoul, credit to Seoul, Rome was lying to everybody. Thought he was doing a great job calling himself the godson to the Godfather Boston Rob. Seoul saw right through it. Seoul was like, he's probably lying about losing a vote. He's also probably lying that it's just definitely Asia going home, which at the time Rome was lying about to him. Seoul was like, we've been here for 30 minutes. How do you already know that? So Rome was like, oh, well, I don't have a vote, so I just can't do anything else. Seoul saw right through that. I think that's a sign that Seoul could be a good player going forward. And then Teeny kind of brings up the point basically of I think Seoul is going to be harder. I think Seoul is going to be better at finding advantages. And hey, Rome, that makes him a threat to you. In reality, Teeny just wanted to keep Asia around because they had a strong alliance. So Rome then switches. He said, okay, you're right. Let's get Seoul out. So it looks like Asia is going to be saved. But the issue is Asia can't save herself. So Teeny and Keisha, they go over to Asia and they say, hey, we want you to vote Seoul. Asia is like, no, we have to vote Genevieve. Rome and Genevieve are too tight. We have to vote Genevieve. Now, I guess Asia obviously didn't know that she's 1,000% on the bottom. But when you're on the bottom, just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Don't cause trouble. Don't cause trouble. It's the Sandra, it's the anyone but me strategy. Such a bad move by Asia because it looks like she's stubborn and she needs too much control. That makes Teeny and Kayshawn be a little bit weary of her and thinking we can't work with her going forward. So Asia more or less got herself voted out of the game just with the way she gave backlash to that. Bad move by Asia. But I'm glad Seoul sticks around. I think looking forward at that tribe, I would not be stunned if Teeny and Kayshawn pull in Seoul and the three of them work together against Genevieve and Rome. Because Rome now, he does have to steal a vote. So technically him and Genevieve, even though, which is true, someone in the chat put like, I don't know how Genevieve and Rome became this like power couple. I've barely seen them speak the whole show. But they basically have a 3-2 advantage, if you want to think about it, when you consider that Rome has the steal a vote. If you're Teeny, Kayshawn, and Seoul, you just kind of have to hope he doesn't use it. Tommy, thoughts on Andy actually going to make a bit of a comeback? Yeah, like I said it earlier. I said it, about 10 minutes ago. Andy actually seems like he might have a head on his shoulders in Survivor. So that's good to see. But yeah, I guess final thoughts on that red tribe. Yeah, a lot of talking at the tribal. Probably too much talking at tribal. Why didn't Aisha use shot at the dark? I don't think she thought she was in trouble. She seemed to be a bit blindsided. Has Genevieve even spoken on camera yet? I don't think so. She popped up once today, and I said, "Who the hell is this? Who is this?" Apparently, that's Genevieve. Apparently, that's Rome's power couple. So yeah, I think looking at the tribe breakdowns, you have theoretically on red a foursome of Teeny, Kayshawn, Rome, and Genevieve with Seoul on the outs. But I do think there's a chance Seoul can weasel his way in there. He's a smart player, and Rome is just so fucking annoying. Yellow tribe, seems like we have Sam, Sierra, and Andy, who is now making a comeback. Those three working together with Annika and Rachel on the outs. Annika and Rachel are still kind of the mindset that it's just going to be Andy next time because he's a loony bin. Looks like from the scenes for next week too, we're going to get some good content out of him too. And then on the blue tribe, this one's a little bit harder to kind of suss out, but we know Sue and Caroline are tight. Gabe is with them, and he kind of wants to get, who's that other girl? What's the other girl's name with the T? Tiana? Am I making that up? Is her name Tiana? Could somebody put in the chat? But Gabe seems like he's with Caroline and Sue. Kyle is on the outs. Yeah, Tiana is theoretically on the ins, but it seems like Gabe is going to want to make a move against her. I think I said, I think Gabe is playing a little bit too hard, but I like the Gabe strategy of, if I was in Gabe's position, I would also want to work with Caroline and Sue because they seem like, you can work with them easier. They're trustworthy. They're less likely to lead a backstab. I would want Tiana out as well. Yeah, put some questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll wrap up soon. But 15 people left. Like I said, next week, we'll be back for a more full episode. I'm just going to scroll through back. I'll do winners and 0.0. Winners going tribe by tribe. Let me just go person by person. Rachel could win. Annika, 0.0% chance to win. Sam could win. Sierra could win. Andy, I want to say 0.0%, but he showed such a little sliver that if they're setting him up for a comeback story, that would be crazy. I don't see that happening though. Blue Tribe, Gabe has a shot to win, although I think he's going to play too hard. Caroline and Sue, very low shots to win. Tiana, I guess, has a shot, but I don't think she will. Kyle, I guess, has a shot, but I don't think he will because he doesn't seem to know the game. And then the last tribe, Red, I think Soul has a shot. Soul seems to be a good player. Rome has 0.0 shot. They would not be giving Rome this edit and this much screen time early if he won. So Rome has a 0.0% shot. Soul could win. Teeny could win. Kayshawn, I actually might put as an early winner pick. I think he's got a good grasp of the game. And then who's the last person? Genevieve has, I'm going to say, a 0.0% chance to win just because they're not showing her at all. Early, if I had to go right now, winner pick, I'm going to go Kayshawn. I don't know why. And he might have talked a little bit too much at Tribal, but he seems like he's smart. I think him and Teeny, that's going to be the alliance that goes deep in the game. They're smart, reasonable, rational, level-headed. They're likable people. I think that's going to be a duo to really watch. Jib cut of the week. I'm going to go Andy. I liked the cut of Andy's jib this week. Andy, absolutely out of nowhere, all of a sudden decided to understand Survivor. Andy could make a comeback. So we didn't get to do last week, but Rachel stealing rice. I respect that move. I mean, that's kind of on Survivor. It's not against the rules. I didn't know how Jeff was going to handle that because you saw the camera show it. You saw Rachel put it in. I was like, is this going to be a huge... I thought there was a chance he, threw her off the island. He was like, fuck you for fucking with Survivor. Old Jeff Probst might have done that. New, softer Jeff Probst just laughed about it. I was like, oh, this is funny. But I was really curious how Jeff was going to handle that. But I don't knock Rachel for trying at all. Okay, let's see. Any other things in this chat here? Rachel, we addressed... Should have split vote 2-2 on Rome and Genevieve. I mean, again, they're just tight with Rome and Genevieve. They don't view them as big of threats as we think. Rome is definitely in the 0.0% camp. I don't think that's even a question. Does Rome have some Dreams vibes? No, I liked Dreams way more. Dreams was one of my favorite players as a kid. Dreams also didn't think he was some strategic mastermind, as far as I remember. On Rob Habits' podcast, they talked about people potentially trying to play to be brought back in season 50, which I thought was interesting. Like Rome, that's interesting. I think that's crazy if people are doing that. I feel like you just want to win this season. The best way to probably get invited back in season 50 is to win, but I don't hate that. Although, I mean, I don't know. Do we have any updates on Survivor 50? Survivor 50, I still want to be. I want it to be basically like Survivor Game Changers or All-Stars, where I don't need a theme. We don't need it to be heroes versus villains. We don't need it to be second chances. We don't need it to be all winners. I just want Survivor 50 to be like Survivor Legends. Call it whatever the fuck you want. Just bring back 20 super entertaining players from Survivor and not just people from 41 on. If that's it, I might not watch. That's how angry I will be out of protest. Bring back 20 of just the most entertaining players ever. Some winners, some people who, maybe are more second chancey, some challenge beasts, whatever. I just want Survivor 50 to be like, whatever. Survivor Legends. I hope they don't overthink it. I hope they just make it really good. If it's just 41 on, that sucks. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. Hopefully it's 39 days too. They should bring back 39 days for that. And they should get rid of the Beware advantage and stuff. Should have eras. Survivor 50 should have eras with equal representation from early days, middle, and modern era. Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't know how you'd break it down. Maybe you say pre-heroes versus villains, heroes versus villains to winners at war, and then most recent, something like that. 6 versus 6 versus 6. we'll see. If we have any other questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up here. We should be, again, unless I have another flight delay next week, we will be live next Wednesday night, 9:33-ish Eastern on Snuff and Torches, Rumble, YouTube, everywhere else. Podcast will be out. I'll get this podcast out now soon. So yeah, sorry for the delay in a couple weeks, but wanted to get you guys something out here today. So you got to just look and listen to me for this entire time. But hopefully, got you that survivor fill for all the snuff heads out there. All right, so that's it. Like, subscribe, yada, yada. See you guys next week.